Easy to love yourself when you're feeling good, but a true disciple loves himself even when he's feeling loathsome.
Yo, Elliot!
So we've got a question from one of our YouTube community. He goes on to say, Elliot, for the past 7 or 8 months, I've been dealing with this cycle of anxiety. Some days are really good. I'm out there and I'm getting things done and I feel fine. And then there are other days where it hits me and I'm so stricken that I can't even get out of my bed. I don't want to do anything and I'm fearful and fucked up. Elliot, I've watched enough of your videos and I've tried many of your bioenergetic exercises and breathing, and I do them on my good days. But I still seem to suffer, and I can't seem to get anything done on those bad days. Any advice? Well, my man, yes, I do have advice. Keep doing what you're doing during the good days when the bad days strike. That's when it's most important. Discipline is easy when you're getting started, or when you're excited, or when you're feeling good, or when you're on a roll. But true discipleship, which is the path to self-mastery, is when you do what you gotta do, whether you feel like it or not. And it's not even like it's a chore, bro. It's breathing. The most fundamental thing a human being can do to preserve himself physically, primordially, physiologically, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually is breathe. And so on those good days when you feel good enough to breathe, you breathe. And on those days when the anxiety hits, you feel so bad that you don't breathe. You do the thing to have the power. Breathing relaxes. When I talk about breathing, I'm not talking about the stifled breathing most people are doing. Most people, they're alive because they're sucking oxygen in and there's some sort of biochemical exchange there. But breathing is a very biomechanic mechanism, very physical mechanism. There are mechanics to breathing. And when the anxiety rises and your energy is up, check out the mechanics of your breathing. When you get anxious, you'll notice a number of things happen to your body. Anxiety is not in your head. This is what they would have you believe because it is a bit more mystical, and they can give you pills and say, hey, here's something for your head. And it's all out of your control. You give up your responsibility. There's chemical reactions in your body, and it's something out there. It's in your head. I can't cut your head open and see your thoughts. I can't see your anxiety, right? So it's a big hoax. Check your body out. Check out the mechanics of your behavior. Check out your posture. Check out your breathing. Are you breathing into your balls? Basic fucking question for Elliott Hulse fans. Are you breathing into your balls? Every single question you will ask me, I will give you that answer. Because if you ain't breathing, you ain't living, and shit ain't getting done. You're anxious, you ain't breathing. If you're depressed, you ain't breathing. If you're losing girlfriends all the time, you ain't breathing. If you're losing jobs all the time, you ain't breathing. It is the fundamental frequency of life. Inhalation and exhalation. Mastery of the mechanics of breathing. So you answer your question with your question because you know that you feel good and you breathe. And when you breathe, you will also feel good. So think of it as medicine, my man. Think of breathing, not just oxygen. Right? When I talk about breathing, the reason why I use balls is because it has to do with our body. I'm not talking about the exchange of oxygen. That's very That's way out there. Nobody sees that going on. You don't look at somebody and can see the exchange of oxygen going on, but you can look at somebody and tell right away whether or not they are breathing deeply or not. It's very basic. It's very in your eyes. It's very fundamental and physical. There's nothing more basic to being a human being than the biomechanics of your breath. So, my friend, you know what to do. We all know what to do. When we were born here, we were doing it. Look at a baby. Baby sleeping. Very smooth wave of breath. Belly fills, chest fills. There's almost an extension with an inhalation and a flexion, a soft flexion. And I will tell you this about the mechanics of breathing in your psychology. Anxiety comes from not being able to breathe out. You're probably stuck on your exhalation. You're taking in too much. You're too puffed up. And when you exhale, when you let go, when you let down, you can sink. Back in the 90s, there was a movie called Waiting to Exhale with women who are, they're anxious because they need somebody to marry. They need a man, according to this movie anyway. And in the movie, at some point, she finally finds a man, and you know what she does? After the whole movie, she's an anxious mess. She finds a man, and you hear, and the entire body sinks. It melts. Depressed people have the other problem. It's just the opposite. They're not taking any air in. They've just check me out. I exhale, all my energy's out, and my energy's low this way. I'm still pushing the air out. If I don't take more in, I'm going to be depressed, depressing the physiological responses in my body. But come back to normal, and check this out. I'm in full extension. My spine is extending. My eyes are wide open. I'm anxious. I'm up. You gotta exhale, my man. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. And so you also mentioned that you exercise and stuff, and when you're getting anxiety now, and you're integrating this into your character, I hope you know, you're choosing not to exercise. You're choosing not to engage in sports. You don't engage in exercise because you feel good to go exercise. Just like you don't breathe because you feel good enough to breathe. Again, it's like medicine. You go do it so that you feel good. You go breathe so that you can feel good. You go run so that you could feel good. You go exercise so that you can feel good. Make sure that you treat it like medicine though also too, because there are some exercises that is the wrong medicine and in the wrong dosage. Do something that feels good, that invigorates you, that allows you to facilitate the proper pulsation of your breathing. Go for a brisk walk, bro. Not only are you going to get the nourishment from the sun, you're going to get fresh air. You're going to be pumping, right? And pumping is breathing, and breathing is a frequency, and you're going to have good vibes. Done.